In this episode, we're going to be making another herbal wine, this time from chamomile. It's called Chamomile Ale. If you watched our previous video about making herbal wine, where we made wine from basil, you know that I enjoyed doing things that are a little bit different, and I found some chamomile tea on clearance at the store, so I bought a whole bunch of boxes of it, and so now we're going to try to make turn 3 boxes of it, about 2 to 3 ounces, it's about 2.5 ounces, into a chamomile ale. So the first step is we have about 3/4 of a gallon of water in our pot. We're going to bring that to a boil, and then we're going to put in the bags of tea. Our water is now boiling, and so we'll take it off the heat, and we'll turn off the heat. And we'll turn off the heat. And we're going to add the chamomile. We're adding 60 bags of chamomile. And go ahead and stir that up. And make sure all that gets down in there, just like making a cup of chamomile tea, except we're making 60 tea bags. Just put in 60 tea bags. So we'll let this sit overnight, and then we'll take it to the next step. So the benefit of doing it with these tea bags, it'll be very easy to get them out, and then we'll squeeze the tea out of it. Would love to do it with just some bulk tea. It was kind of a pain to open 60 tea bags worth, but however you get your chamomile tea, you need between 2 and 3 ounces. So this ended up being about 2¼ ounces of chamomile tea. So we'll pick up again tomorrow after this is steeped all night. Our chamomile tea has been steeping overnight, so now we're going to remove the tea bags. So we'll just put them in a strainer, let them drip for a little bit, and then press down to get as much of that water out of the tea bags. Throw the tea bags away, and then we'll move to the next step. So what we've done is we've removed all the tea bags, and we've added another ½ gallon of water. So we have approximately a gallon of water, but we lost a little bit of tea, and we brought it to a simmer, and I've just turned off the heat. The next step is to add 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. Add approximately 1 tablespoon of molasses, and this is optional, but go ahead and do it. So just approximate, and that's good enough. And then 2 cups of sugar. And we will stir that up. Make sure everything dissolves real well. And then once everything is dissolved, we will let this cool down, because of course we have to let it cool down before we add the yeast. So we'll let it cool down until it's back to room temperature. Add our yeast. Enough time has passed for the wort to cool down. I took half of what was in the pot and already poured it into the carboy. That was kind of split so it would cool down faster. Also drew off a small amount to rehydrate the yeast, so we have that in a green cup. You can see the yeast we're going to use, this ale yeast, US05. It's very much a matter of what yeast did I have in the refrigerator at the time. We have combined the remainder of the wort along with the rehydrated yeast into the carboy, gave it a good shake to mix everything up and to add some oxygen for the yeast. Installed airlock, a stopper and an airlock, and so now it's ready to sit for about 2 weeks, and then we'll check the specific gravity to see where it's at. We're starting off at 1.057, so we'll see in 2 weeks where it's fermented out to. It should be done approximately in 2 weeks, and then we'll bottle it and give it another couple of weeks to age. So much faster turnaround time on this chamomile ale than the wine and mead that I've been working on. So we'll see how it turns out. We'll see you in 2 weeks. The chamomile ale has been aging in the bottle for about 6 weeks now. We tried it after 2 weeks, and it was a little bitter. Still drinkable. Some people like bitter. Not my thing, but certainly for someone else it was probably very drinkable. Then after 4 weeks it got better. Now we're at 6 weeks, and I suspect it's even better, but I'm basically out of chamomile ale at this point. There's just this in one other bottle. So definitely we'll be making another one. I like that it's much faster to be able to drink it. Just 2 weeks of fermenting, bottle it, and then 4 to 6 weeks of bottle aging. So now we're going to open it and see if 2 additional weeks of aging made any difference in the taste. Did it actually improve the taste? So here's what it looks like. Let's give it a try. Yeah, I would say it definitely continues to improve. It continued to improve from 4 to 6 weeks. It's very, I think it's very good the way it is. Assuming, of course, you like chamomile tea, which I do. If you don't like the taste of chamomile tea, you probably won't actually like this. But I think it's very good, and it's herbal, so it's medicinal, so that's great. And the 7.7% alcohol doesn't hurt either. Something I like to do is add a little sweetener to it, because it's pretty dry. It's actually not sweet at all. All of the sugar has fermented out, and so what pairs well with chamomile ale? Well, anything pairs well with chamomile tea, and for me that's honey. So I have a little bit of honey dissolved in some water, and I'm going to try that with the rest of this. This is actually how I've been drinking it up to now, the earlier bottles, and it was very good. Notice it's not carbonated. Oh yes, very good. So this experiment was a success. I liked it. The chamomile ale, it's good for if you can't drink beer because of allergy to grains. That's maybe why you would want to try this, or you're just looking to try something different. You saw some chamomile ale on clearance at the grocery store and you picked up a bunch of boxes. That's actually how I ended up giving this a try. So I hope you enjoyed this, and hope you give it a try. try something different. And as always, have a great day.